On Sunday, several people were reported dead following the Saturday night heavy downpour that washed away several structures and property, also killing over 10 in Mbale. The floods are said to have been caused after 3 rivers of Nabuyonga, Namatsi and Namatala burst their banks and submerged, causing an overflow. In his last address to the country last week, President Museveni warned against the likely effects of human action on the environment.
Our people, the majority of whom are already vulnerable and have limited capacity to adapt to the impacts of climate change, have continued to experience increased frequency and intensity of floods, droughts, and landslides.
His message on climate change and environment was re-echoed in the 3-day inter-ministerial conference on mitigation, environment and climate change in Munyonyo. While officiating at the inter-ministerial conference, President Museveni called for collaborative efforts in averting effects of climate change and other natural disasters.
For African countries, climate change adaptation is key in addressing the impacts of climate change at all levels, including addressing loss and damage and increasing the resilience of communities, infrastructure, and ecosystems.
Just a few days after his message on conservation and climate change, the Elgon region experiences a catastrophe that left many dead and property worth millions destroyed. Areas around Mount Elgon have experienced several effects of climate change and are still prone to experiencing the worst if conservation is prolonged. In 2010, over 3,000 people were displaced and hundreds killed in the heavy landslides that hit the districts of Bududa. In 2012, a similar incident happened, and later in 2017 in Sironko district.
In 2010, we had to relocate and resettle about 3,000 people from Mount Elgon sub-region, Bududa district in eastern Uganda, Kiryandongo district in western Uganda, after their home villages were devastated by the landslides on March 1st, 2010.
The National Pulse of Disaster Preparedness and Management 2012, however, lists natural disasters in Uganda as drought, famine, food insecurity, floods, landslides, mudslides and earthquakes, environmental degradation, among others. The 3-day regional inter-ministerial conference on mitigation, environment and climate change hosted in Uganda last week seeks to raise awareness about the impacts of climate change and environmental degradation on human mobility. Susan Naonga reporting for ABC TV.